What's going on, everybody? It's Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies, and today we are here with the Saabaru. So let me explain a little bit about this car and tell you why I probably did overpay for this, especially with it not being in the best of condition on the outside. But for what it is, I think I did okay. And the whole reason I got this car is interesting. So let's get into it. All right, so this is a 2005 Saab. Yes, Saab. It's faded out. Trust me, I'll fix that. So it's a Saab 92X Aero. Now, if you know anything about Saabs, or if you don't, I'll explain real quick. So the Aero means it's like the sport model or the higher end model, you know, all that stuff. Basically, in a nutshell, I'll just kind of explain to you guys the history of this car. So this car was only made for 2 years. They sold about 10,000 of them from what I can gather, maybe more. I'm not 100% sure. But here's the reason these cars didn't sell very well, and that's the whole reason why I bought this thing, is because it's pretty rare. And I'm cool with that. Because this, even though this car is rare, it's still pretty easy to get parts for, other than like cosmetic stuff. So in the early 2000s, GM, or General Motors, owned Saab, right? And they had a 20% stake in the Subaru company at that time. And Saab wasn't doing very well as a car company. So GM decided to offer this. Now what this is it's basically a Subaru Impreza WRX with a different front clip and a different back hatch. Basically everything else is Subaru. The motor is the Boxer engine, the flat 4 turbocharged. It's got this one has a 5-speed manual. It did come with a 4-speed automatic. The 5-speed manual came with 227 horsepower and 217 foot-pounds of torque stock. Now that is less than Subaru Impreza was offering at that time, but that's the whole reason I got this car, is because this, I have always, ever since they first came out, wanted a WRX. And then when I stumbled on this thing and did a little bit of research, I had to have this car. So I hit up the guy. It was at a dealership. I went down and I paid cash for it. So I own this car outright, and I've done a few modifications to it. Sorry I haven't videoed that stuff. It's life's been crazy. Life's been really crazy lately. But anyways, that's the whole reason for getting this car, is because it's pretty unique. I mean, these aren't unattainable, but they are kind of hard to find. This one, although the body's in rough shape, it is a very solid car. It's only got 116,000 miles on it. It's not the high-end version per se. It does have cloth seats. And look at that. It still has the stock radio. The CD player doesn't work, but you can see right there. So it's got 116,749 miles. And I personally have put 322.8 miles on it. I've got some fun stuff right there. So let's pop the hood and I'll show you guys a couple of the goodies I've done. That kind of sucks, that little ding. So this is a 2-owner car now. So the original owner had it for basically its entire life, and then traded it in to the place that I bought it from. So the few little things I've done, some hoses, no big deal. I did put a blow off valve on it, It does have a boost controller that I put on it, cold air intake. I didn't do the full down in the fender thing, but hey, you know, it is what it is. So I have put a little bit of goodies on this, not a whole lot. I did pull this off and paint it, you know, but this is basically just a WRX. I mean, this is the same thing you would see under the hood of a WRX. So that's the whole reason I got this car. It's pretty rare. It is a little rough. Like I said, I'm not gonna have an easy time finding upgraded headlights and stuff like that, but I still think it's pretty cool. You know, I did put a full 3-inch exhaust in this thing, and basically you just buy parts for a WRX, which is what I've been doing. I've just been buying stuff for a WRX of the same year. Like I said, they only made this car for 2 years, 05 and 06. Unfortunately, I couldn't find an 06. I actually looked after I found the history of this car, but I couldn't find one. So that is what it is. But hey, let's start it up and let you guys hear what it sounds like. Yeah, sounds like a WRX. Now that whine that you hear is the power steering pump, which unfortunately I'm gonna have to replace. It was like that when I got the car, but you know, it's an older car, but the blow-off valve works. Check this out. I've always wanted a Subaru WRX, and now I basically have one. It's a good car. I like it, and I'm happy with it. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said, from the research I've been able to do, I think they only sold about 10,000 of these cars because people would just go buy the WRX. You know, Saab's not too big of a company here in North America, and mostly these were just sold in North America, and they only came in this hatchback version. They didn't make a sedan. It was only hatchback. So that's kind of the history of this car, you know, from the research that I could find. And you know, there's not a whole lot out there about these cars, but people do know what these cars are. Some people. And I think it's super cool. I think it's super cool. I mean, the interior is exactly the same as a Subaru. The only thing that would change is this little emblem right here and stuff. So, I mean, I dig it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this car, all the stuff I do to it and all that stuff. Because I'm going to be, you know, kind of going nuts on this car now, I guess. All right, everybody. Garrett from Killer Off-Road Hobbies saying peace. See you on the next video.